Oh, okay, I'm back. I saw, I was watching this video earlier today. And made me kind of upset because I knew the UK was bad, but not this bad. Anyway,
point in our civilization, and I want to take you through a series of stories that are just embarrassing. It's just really embarrassing how we used to have a world-spanning empire. We used to be the foremost power in the world, and now we are in. We're just. I mean, I don't even have a word to describe how pathetic our country is. It's really insufferable. I mean, this event from a couple of months ago, where the two female police officers.
This is why guns are important. You know, if First Amendment and free speech are important. You know, if they had this in the UK, they wouldn't be taking away people's rights like this. They think twice. I'm not saying go out and kill people, but like a government that it's government that has to think about what it's doing to its people is a government in check. It's a government in check.
Knocked on the guy's door, and this went viral because, oh my god, look at the state of it. Look at the state of it. Like, neither of these ladies ought to be holding any kind of power of the public, because all the power they hold is completely fictitious, right? It is totally fictitious. These people do not hold power or authority. They hold the simulacrum of power and authority, and they assume that, okay,
the blonde one kind of good looking. I don't know much about government. I just know that they don't allow guns, and you can get arrested for. A guy got arrested for taking pictures with guns in the U.S. And then we put him on Facebook, and then when he went back to UK, he got arrested. She's kind of good looking though.
well, that means if I wear the high vis vest, then you're going to do as I say. It's like, okay, but what if I don't? Well, I can't force you. Obviously, I can't force you to do what I say. I'm going to expect institutional power to back me up on this. So, okay, well, it's, there's going to come a time where it doesn't, right? There's going to come a time where it can't. But anyway, right? So this, I think, is indicative of the low and feminized state of our civilization, of our culture. And we'll go through some things because it didn't used to be this way, right? It just didn't used to be this way. So the first thing here is a local council finding a guy £300 over having a bag full of rubbish in his van. Now, the council's like,
this is the one that made me want to do the video. It's like, how are you messing with somebody? It's in their car, It's like it's on the road. You're not throwing it in the road. It's literally the guy in his car, mind his own business with his own property. You don't. And how they even know? It looked in the car. They had to go, because this would be behind the door, like below the window.
Oh, this looks like fly.
And, you're looking for problems, That shouldn't even be a problem because it's his own property and his own whatever.
Tipping to us. It's like, does it? Looks like a guy who drives around in his van a lot and has put a bunch of rubbish in the van in order to make sure the van isn't completely full of rubbish. And then, like, the guy was, that was literally the guy's defense of himself. And he was like, well, no, obviously I'm not.
Yeah, he has his own stuff. And his own stuff in his own on his own property. He shouldn't be able to bother. This feels unconstitutional. or whatever they have in the UK.
fly tipping, I just put it in a bin like a normal person. But the council like, no. We think you're fly tipping, £300 fine, bam. It's like,
What fly tipping? I'm gonna look that up. Fly tipping meaning dump waste illegally. You can prove that. I mean, how can you just say something like that? Do they have any proof?
this is pathetic, right? Like I've got
Looking at this, all I could say is that he just had some stuff in his car they hadn't thrown out yet. That's all you could say.
4 kids, and when we go off on, in the car or whatever, you have to put stuff in a bag, especially if you're going for like a couple of hour trip or something. They've got, some sweets or something. You have to have a bag for rubbish in your car because there are just too many of us in the car not to create rubbish. And the council are like, well, that's fly tipping, I'm afraid. And it's like, no.
Yeah, this is clearly, he's out in the truck a lot. He doesn't eat and get, he'd go to get snacks a lot, and he doesn't throw it out because he's on the move a lot. He got a bag there to be like, okay, throw in that bag. I'll throw the whole bag out when it's full. That's a common thing. This is clearly from gas stations and stuff. On his way to work, quick snack.
That's just normal. It's just normal to have a bag of rubbish in your car. I mean, look at the rest of his car.
I wonder if he could sue them or whatever.
Messy. Why? Because the rubbish is in the fucking bag. Like, literally that. The rest of his car.
Yeah, they would have to. Yeah, the bag would be right here. They would have to look inside the car.
Car isn't messy. Why? Because the rubbish is in the fucking bag. Like, it's literally that simple. And he was like, no. And the council's like, yeah, no, we think that's normal. We think that's fine. That's what we're doing. It's like, no, this is ridiculous, right? This is ridiculous. And again, going to the sort of hyperfeminization, we are going to persecute the people that we assume will cooperate with the law
and
with excess busybodies, like an excessive number.
Imagine getting fined for stuff you have in your own car. This is my property. He's clearly a worker. He had something, a manual labor. He's driving back and forth a lot. Doesn't have a lot of time to stop.
For busybodies who clearly have nothing better to do. Like, here's another one, right? This is a woman who's given £100 fine in the city of Leicester because she was complaining about council tax.
I wouldn't want to be going to Mo in Leicester.
Cut or council cuts, but obviously the council tax wasn't being cut, but council services being cut, and so she was given £100 fine for setting up just this table because it breached antisocial behavior laws. Now, she was something 72, 72-year-old, right? Obviously, she didn't think this was. I mean, she probably when antisocial behavior laws are probably something that came in under the Blair era, right? So she remembers the country as it used to be, as in when it was normal, right? You could just do things as long as you weren't being, bad, like if you're causing trouble or leaving a mess or whatever, which she's obviously not.
This is why it's good in the U.S. You can just set up a thing on the side of the road and it's fine, and no one will bother you. Maybe somebody will come up and ask you what you're doing. That's about it.
You could just do something and it'd be fine. If people just did things. We used to have a free society, but no, now this £100 fine, right? She was campaigning against council cuts when she was approached by a street warden. The fuck is a street warden? Who are these soy boys whose job they are literally paid just go around and be a nuisance to law-abiding people who are doing nothing wrong, right? He ordered her to dismantle it. Sorry, do I accept your authority? Why should I? She was told she was in breach. Sorry,
I'm going back.
Doing nothing wrong.
Oh, damn it. Are these like cops or something? They don't look like cops. There's like.
And be a nuisance to law-abiding people who are doing nothing wrong, right? He ordered her to dismantle it. Sorry, do I accept your authority? Why should I? She was told she was in breach of a public spaces protection order designed to combat antisocial behavior like street drinkers and e-bike riders in the city centre.
She's not doing any of that.
Okay, but she's not drinking or riding an e-bike, so what's your problem? No cuts to...
I mean, to be fair, it said like street drinkers. What would the other one?
Behavior like street
drinkers. And e-bikers. What's wrong with e-bikers? What's wrong with biking to work or something? For one.
Drinkers and e-bike riders in the city centre. Okay, but she's not drinking or riding an
it might, and to be fair, it said like, so it may cover other things. Although if it covered other things, you'd think they'd say that in the article, but it doesn't. But even then, this is stupid.
E-bike. So what's your problem? No cuts to disability benefits and all this sorts of. This is just a political campaign that she is running, and you would think she is free to run, but no, not in modern Britain.
Like you would think. Yeah, she's literally just running a political campaign. You would think that'd be okay. I know in the U.S., your right to political speech is really protected.
Modern Britain, a bunch of soy boys or like the. I'm trying not to be mean.
Ever since,
but it's just
since I heard that that guy got a fine, he got arrested for tweeting or something. It wasn't. It was like a something turned into a Nazi flag. It was a cringy tweet, but it should. You should have be able to tweet that, and it's just wrong. That's when I knew the UK would die.
Silly, this picture. It's so silly. These 2 5'2" women are like, yeah, we're the long arm of the law. The fuck you are. Anyway, it gets worse, and this is just again.
No, this the other one. This is what made me want to react to the video.
You wouldn't believe it if I told you it, right? If I was in a pub, I was like, did you hear the other day a guy got fined for spitting a leaf out of his mouth? You'd be like, what? No, he didn't. Obviously, nobody got fined for spitting a leaf out of his mouth, but it's in the BBC. Like, so I'm going to assume that this...
Oh, I hope that would happen to me here. Oh, I'd be rolling money because that's ridiculous. You shouldn't be fined for that. I'd sue and I'd get all the money because that's ridiculous.
Is correct because why are they creating this as fake news? A man who was fined for spitting out a leaf after it blew into his mouth joins calls for responsible litter enforcement.
That's insane.
Why is the litter enforcement throwing rubbish on the floor? Why?
For one, it's literally a leaf. It's a leaf. It's designed to be outside.
Why do we need people to be running around patrolling that? It didn't used to be that we just throw our rubbish on the floor. But anyway, Rory Marsh, 86, again, someone who could remember when the country was ruled by sensible people, someone who can remember when the country wasn't absolutely insane, was given a £250 fine in Skegness. Apparently, this is not the first either. Adrian Finley, a county councillor, said he received a number of complaints about similar heavy-handed incidents in the seaside resort. Because this...
Can people not do anything about it? You can't, like bring this up with police or something? You can't sue or, I don't know what, bring it to some type of authority and say, hey, this is wrong? Because this is clearly clearly going way too far.
Mr. Marsh here, Roy Marsh, said he was stopping for a rest while walking, and as I was sitting there, a gale blew a big reed into my mouth. I spat it out, and just as I got up to walk away, 2 enforcement officers came up to me. Again, enforcement officers. What?
Sounds like they're on the prowl as well. Like they're looking for. They're not
enforcing. They're enforcing really petty tyranny. It's like, okay. When did we agree to this? When did we decide this was how we were going to run our civilization? Marsh was told by one of the officers he had been seen spitting on the floor. Okay, and what if he had? Like, am I not allowed to spit on the floor if there's something in my mouth? Am I not allowed to spit? Like, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't go around, it's not polite to spit or anything, but sometimes it might be necessary. Maybe something would have blown up.
I could understand, like, if he spat on someone. It didn't mention anyone else around or anything. It just, a leaf came in his mouth, he spat it out.
My mouth, I wasn't expecting. I was like, I want to get rid of it. Like, so he was given a fine of £250, which was reduced on appeal to £150, which he paid.
I wouldn't pay that.
I just can't get over how fucking pathetic this country is. It's embarrassing, man. It's so embarrassing.
It is. You should not live in the UK. It sounds absolutely awful.
I'm just ashamed that this is the fucking state of our country. Like, obviously we've got so many things wrong, but this is just one of those. You couldn't make this.
There are many more things. You shouldn't know. Just know.
Up. If I made this up, you wouldn't believe me. Anyway, the councillors.
The UK just. The more I hear about the UK, it's just getting worse and worse.
The reform councillors, like
not in big ways like this, just like they're needling at people. Needling.
Definitely taking this too far. No kidding. And it's just ridiculous. And again, if you think that's the most ridiculous, the thing is, right, when I was thinking, okay, how am I going to order these to show you them? I was like, which one is the most ridiculous? And actually, I think this is probably the most ridiculous one, although it's tied very closely to 6 police officers.
I haven't seen this far in the video. I watched a little bit into the video, and I stopped.
Handcuffing a woman and finding her £100 for feeding fucking pigeons some bread. Like
that. I would not pay that. I would be livid. No. That's insane.
My God, man. Like, this is so mental. Why is this happening? And look at it's the same sort of pattern, right? I think I can't be like, oh, look, it's a
that also that reminds me of that. People are getting arrested for flirting with women on the street. I'm telling you, it's tyranny. It feels like.
That's me a nana or something, because I'll go to jail for that. So I've just got to point and go, look at the kind of people who are arresting just a normal older English lady who was like, oh, I was just being normal actually in public. And they're like, not on our fucking watch. So video captured passed by showing a woman being detained by a group of officers. Again, there were 6 of them, right? And council enforcement.
You do have to watch out for this tiny woman with her bread. You have to bring 6 police officers. She might whip her bread at you.
6 officers and council enforcement workers in Harrow. The latest example of jobs where council officials slapping the public with petty fines. I guess they must really need the money, right? I guess they must be like, God, guys, we're going to go the way of Birmingham at this rate. Just get out there and fine them for anything, whatever we've got. This woman was in handcuffs for feeding the pigeons. Feeding the pigeons landed her in handcuffs. How can you make an argument that this is some sort of proportional response from the 2 petty tyrant
6 police officers on 1 woman wearing bread. No, feeding pigeons.
bullies here. How can you make an argument that is proportional? Police were searching the pockets of a man who was filming the encounter, repeatedly challenged the officers over the stop.
Well, this is what happens when you allow your rights to be taken away.
What are you doing? We're arresting her. Why? Because she was feeding the pigeons? Okay, but when did that become a crime? They confiscated a bunch of items, but they did return them later. But why are you doing anything about this? Why are you making an old lady cry by putting her in handcuffs for feeding the pigeons? Why are you doing this? What is wrong with you? Just lunatics. She was put in the back of the police van. Oh, thank God she's off the streets. Just, what are you doing? What are you doing? She was
I'm telling you, there was someone being raped at that moment, and you're arresting this lady. That's insane.
Handed a note by the officers, which showed she'd been detained for feeding the birds. The particulars of the offence were described as, quote, throwing bread on the floor. When did that become an offence? How is that an offence? What is the law that makes that an offence? Where does it say in the British legal system you are not allowed to throw bread on the floor? I mean, obviously, you'd only throw bread on the floor for one particular reason, to feed the fucking birds. She had received a warning from the officers, but she had chosen not to comply, so the police were called. Then she was given
a warning for
fixed penalty notice of £100. And if she doesn't pay it, she's sent to court. Honestly, I'd be interested to see where it goes. I'd be like, right, I don't know. I don't know if I will pay that. I'm kind of curious as to what the judge is going to say. So, were you willfully feeding the birds in a public park in London, of all places? Don't you know? I mean, there's got to be some sort of cultural sensitivity to that. Like, I mean, what are we doing? What are we talking about? What would he be charged?
What? How would you explain that to someone? I don't understand. It just. Sorry, that was my phone. I meant to turn. I was in the process of turning off my notifications as I was doing that. Okay.
Her with? What is the crime? Oh, sorry. Actually, no, they tell us. She was stopped under Harrow Town's District Incentives PSPO, which explicitly outlaws the feeding of birds and vermin. Oh, okay. So it is on the books. I didn't even realize. Explicitly outlaws the feeding of birds and vermin. She was stopped under Harrow Town's District Incentives PSPO, which explicitly outlaws the feeding of birds and vermin. Oh, okay. So it is on.
It's a law, but it's a dumb law.
The books. I didn't even realize. I'd missed that when I was preparing this. I didn't realize that in Harrow there is some sort of public order that you're not allowed to feed the birds. What? That is just so pathetic. It's so petty.
I guarantee you that had been a law for a long time, but nobody gets arrested for it. Like in New York, you can't carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket. But I guarantee you, no one gets arrested for that. There's a video, a YouTube video, where a guy does really old illegal stuff. Let me look it up. Here it is. This guy breaking old laws in London. Here's the video. It's from 6 years ago. This guy broke dumb laws. I broke dumb laws in London. like really old ones, and didn't get arrested. And now, if you did the video today, this is advice too. Probably if you did that video today, this guy would be arrested.
So petty. Handcuffs, back of the van, £100 fine. Just unbelievable. And then you've got other things like this. Right, this I saw going around Reddit, which is just ridiculous, right? So my husband writes dark fiction involving body horror. Because I mean, you know that 12,000 people is a year. It's got to be a year. Are arrested for comments they post online. Well, this is just ridiculous, right? I've never seen it myself, and I've seen it myself, and I enjoy it from time to time. He's never so much as hot a soul in real life. Neither of us even knew this was illegal. He just posted them for free on a blog. He's been doing it for 20 years. He writes about unwanted bodily transformations. Now, okay, weird fetish, right? But
shouldn't they be arrested like shouldn't they be arresting like film companies and stuff like that if they're gonna be arresting this guy for like, or like sue Netflix? No, they're not, because it wouldn't be, because nothing would happen. They're going after the people they can arrest, not the big guys, the little guys, because they can actually bully them.
you write, on a little blog, like weird fetishes about your body being transformed into a frog or whatever. I don't know.
It's weird, but you should be able to write about it.
I've no idea.
I've seen publication. Don't read it. It should have a rating, right? These books.
Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Who cares? Why would this be so? It's weird. Don't get me wrong. I don't really want to have a conversation with the guy at the party or something. You'd be like, right. He starts telling you about his blog. You're like, right, okay. I'm gonna go get another beer. Got somewhere else to be. Oh, I just spotted Mike over there, and Mike doesn't write a weird blog fetishizing body transformations. I need to go speak to Mike for a bit. I probably owe him some money or something. Jesus, gotta go pay that back. But no, that's as far as that should go. Just being weird, a weird thing that you have to, in some awkward situations, escape from. But no, officers arrived at the front door and stated he was being arrested for something about the Obscene Publications Act. Right? I thought the Obscene Publications Act was like posting pictures or videos or something. No, apparently writing something fictional. My husband asked if this was about his blog, and the officer refused to confirm it, but the officer beside him said yes before quickly correcting himself. Why not just say yes? I haven't heard from him since they arrested him at 11 a.m. Officers,
what he just black bagged and stuffed in a van? That's crazy.
told me it'd be best for me if I didn't attend the station. Why? I haven't heard a thing from him. I'm really worried. They've also forced me to write down all usernames and passwords for email addresses and accounts online. I believe he had.
I wouldn't do any of that. This would be insane. I'd be arrested for a greater crime. But I wouldn't be doing that.
To do that too, but they made us stay in separate rooms. They haven't taken our phones or laptops. What do I do now? I have no idea what's going on. Okay, what? Like, no one knows what's going on. No one knows what's going on, right? This entire country is being run by lunatics, and I don't think there's any hope in sight of this actually changing. I don't understand.
The UK should just sink into the ocean, just sink into the Thames at this point. It's done. It's a done country. We start over with hookers and blackjack.
Like the extent of the nanny state in this country is just ridiculous. Like, I mean, I don't have the words to express how fucking preposterous I find all of this. And then, of course, the recent debacle with X and Grok. Now, I'm sure we'll cover this on the podcast tomorrow because
trial show ChatGPT also jam people in bikini without consent.
Because Keir Starmer, of course, red face. I'm going to ban X. I'm going to work with Canada. I'm going to work with New Zealand, Australia. We're going to make sure that X is taken off the internet forever. But you can do this anyway. You don't care about ChatGPT because it's not about actually preventing people from putting you in a bikini here. Is that a crime? Is that sexualized? Is a women?
I don't. Bikinis aren't inherently sexualized, but this wasn't. From my interpretation, this wasn't meant to sexualize him. It must have been to make fun of him.
When they go to the beach, actually, essentially whoring themselves. I mean, like, what are we? None of it makes sense because it doesn't need to make sense, right? And then, of course, you've got to ask yourself, well, is this just essentially what is within the compass of our authorities, right? If there were real crimes with real criminals who are actually really stealing things or hurting people, would these people be able to solve that problem? Probably not, right? Probably not. Would these people actually be interested in dealing with hardened criminals, actual, rapists?
I can't. I don't know. Probably not. This is what they're doing all day, dealing with people doing nothing.
Murderers, terrorists. No, probably not, right? They
the
probably
UK is really great, apparently, if that's what they're dealing with. But no, that's not the case. It's just a bunch of trumped up charges.
Actually, just here to make sure that they are enforcing the petty tyranny of an excessively rules-based order. And okay, fine. Just be aware that this is the kind of country we live in. You will have a bunch of very soft-handed people come to you and say, sorry, you have breached some arcane rule that you'd never even heard of for spitting out a leaf or feeding the pigeons or whatever it is. And you will be given a penalty, and they'll be like, yeah, and if you don't pay it, let's
look it up for shits and giggles. Old obscure. I'm dumb. Okay, let's look it up. Stupid. Okay, stupid laws that still, laws that still exist. No, I'm good. Okay. I'm sorry, this was in Georgia. I was incorrect. I was correct about the ice cream thing, but not about the. It's not New York. It's in Georgia. According to Georgia lore, there exists a particular statute that forbids carrying ice cream cones in your back pocket on Sundays. No. Oh, okay. Backstory behind it. Strange law is actually quite clever. Horse thieves reportedly use this sweet-smelling tactic as a sneaky method of stealing horses without technically stealing them. Okay. Why would they only do it on Sundays? But even these strange laws have a reason, but it's not relevant anymore because nobody uses horses anymore. Imagine being arrested for that. That's basically what this is in the UK. Bringing up old laws to arrest people for nothing.
And you'll be
don't apply to anything anymore.
In trouble. And it's like, right, okay. You only penalize the people who comply. That's the point. It's only people who comply that get in trouble. Understood. Not a great message to be sending to people, frankly. But honestly,
This doesn't help anything either. If you comply, you get arrested. It just incentivizes people to just break the law, break bigger laws, even. I can get away with this if I just don't comply. What else can I get away with?
you shouldn't be doing any of this. Any of this nonsense. Like, sorry, the guy should be able to post his disgusting blog. Sorry, the guy should be able to put his rubbish in a bag in his van. Sorry, she should be able to set up a little table in the town centre to complain about council cuts.
These are absolutely nothing boogers of the highest order.
I don't know why I have to say this, but this is genuinely the country in which we live. You can see why in Islander we talk about heroism and modernity, right? That was what my article was about, heroism and modernity, and how modernity is just determined to exterminate anything that we can be proud of, anything that can be a source of thymotic regulation or energy or anything that could bring you to come to view your own civilization as something that is worthy. That's what the point of all of this is. You don't even know how pathetic they want to make you. Like, they want you handcuffed in chains over feeding pigeons, because they are their entire perspective on the world is it is better if you are demoralized. Our jobs are easier.
It's a good control tactic. If they can control you with the little crimes, they can control your thoughts. Oh, am I allowed to think this? Am I allowed to do this? It's easier to control people when you don't know what you're going to get in trouble for.
If you are demoralized, and that's why they do everything that they do. And that's why we do everything that we do. That's why we are like, no, look, you can feel it in your chest. You are sick of this. I know you're sick of it. I'm sick of it. Everyone's sick of it. And you know what? It's actually not necessary that it is this way. They are just trying to demoralize us. And part of us understanding all of this is doing the work of remoralization. Why are we the heroes of our own civilization in our own small ways? Like, and there are examples like you can think of any day, right? And I get this as a dad. Again, I know I'm at least the hero of a couple of people's lives. Whenever something goes wrong for my wife or my kids, they come to me and I fix it for them, right? And you know what? I know that sounds small, right? I know that sounds small. I know it sounds irrelevant and petty. It's not, world-striding Alexandrian conquests, but it means a lot to them. And I'm their hero. And it's the same for every dad in this entire country. In their own little way, they are heroes to someone. And this is important. We need to be able to think of ourselves in positive terms, in terms that are respectable, in ways which we think, oh no, actually.
I totally agree with all this. I just wanted to pause for copyright.
There is something we have to uphold here. This is actually something important. We need to be able to puff out our chests and say, no, actually, I'm not going to comply. And I've got goddamn good reasons for that. And I guess I'll see you in court. Because, I'm serious. We need to start being able to actually...
They are eventually going to mess with somebody that won't take it. And they're going to have to pay.
Argue our own case. And while we are in such a demoralized position, we just can't feel the need to do it. Anyway, this is why Islander exists. This is part of the intellectual revival of the right. This is, genuinely, this is cutting edge as well. It is genuinely the intellectual vanguard of the right that is in Islander at the moment. I'm sure you saw the 40K video by Perb yesterday. Amazing article by Morgoth. And I needed that article to be able to properly understand the entire situation, to be able to put that video together. And I'm incredibly proud of the video. And it's exactly about the remoralization of the people who are being demoralized. I've had enough of it. I've absolutely had enough of it. And if you've had enough of it, the link will be in the description. £15.
What this video?
This is a real article.
We're gonna watch 2 videos.
This is real. Let's
I
just
just started reading that, and then
take
I've
it.
been mugged 3 times in London, but shrub it to say it's not safe. That's just wrong. Like, if you're mugged once, that's not a safe place. You're gonna move 3 times. At what? At the first time, you're like, okay, that's not gonna happen again. The second time, do you just not bring stuff with you? What? How? I would like to. Let's say, obviously, if I were there, I would help this person. But let's say I would just an observer. I couldn't do anything to help, right? And I wonder what. Oh, I'd like to ask her right after that happened. Do you feel safe? I doubt she would say yes.
I've archived it because it's iPaper and they're behind a paywall. But this is the archive of it. And this was published only 3 days ago.
It's entirely performative.
By Xing Zheng, which sounds like my toaster cooling down. Journalist, non-fiction author, and podcaster. I've been mugged 3 times in London, but it's rubbish to
Toaster. I mean, I know that's a joke, but your toaster shouldn't make noise when it cools down.
say it's not safe. Social media and MAGA types are spreading misinformation. Now, this goes back to what I was saying about Baudrillard and hyperreality, how reality has no authority over the hyperreality, and the hyperreality is a purely political construct for this woman. MAGA types are spreading misinformation. Well, what's the misinformation?
Why? This is the UK, right? This is the UK. What did Trump have to do with the UK?
I've only been mugged 3 times. That means that London is obviously safe. It's like, right. I mean, I guess we just have really different standards, right? I have never been mugged in my life. And so...
I've never been mugged in my life either. I've lived 26 years, never been mugged.
If I got mugged once, I would assume the area I'm in is not safe. I would assume there's something wrong with it. And if I got mugged twice...
And I've lived in some pretty bad areas in the US, too. Never been mugged there either.
Like, Jesus, this place is clearly lawless. And if I got mugged
like
3
this, why this... Like, you're gonna get... Like, I don't know if I should put this on this woman or not, but if you make this article, you say London it's safe, you're gonna get other people hurt by just saying that London it's safe, even though I've been mugged 3 times. You're gonna get other people hurt and possibly killed because somebody's gonna read that and some idiot is gonna read that and think, oh yeah, you're correct, and then get killed. And it's on your hands.
Times I would move. I mean, I'd probably move after the first time, but I'd definitely move after the second, let alone the third. I wouldn't write articles saying, no, actually, the place I'm living in is so obviously safe, even though I keep getting mugged. These political opponents that I have who keep telling me this place is wrong.
Political opponents in different countries that have nothing to do with you, too.
Because I'm opposed to them, I have to now accept or defend the fact that this area that I live in is...
I hate team sports like this. It gets people hurt and or killed.
Dangerous. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But again, there's no helping these people. They don't want to be helped. They morally disagree with you. This person got
paid to write this. Paid to write this.
And therefore, they will suffer their own consequences. We'll go through this, but it's just mental. It's just mental. I mean, at this point, I could just be like, right, okay, video over. Nothing more to say. This woman is mental, and there we go. And she gets to write articles in newspapers. You don't get to write articles in newspapers. You have got to live a normal life. She gets to...
How? Like, okay, let's go through this. You write this article. You have to go through an editor, right? The editor looks at the article. The editor looks like an editor, right? Then your boss looks at it, it gets put on the website, right? And then a bunch of people, like, this had to go through a lot of people before I don't know how newspapers work, but this had to go through, I assume, a lot of people before it got approved, right? And they all said, "Yep, this is good. This is coherent. You're a sane person."
Project her bullshit across the airwaves. But okay, fine. We'll carry on. So she talks about how like people on social media, like on Reddit or wherever, are increasingly talking about, I feel less safe in London. London seems to be less safe. I mean, I'm constantly like getting my phone snatched or whatever it is, getting mugged, whatever it is. And she says, you might expect me to agree with some of these posts. I've lived here for over
15
years, and in that time, I've had my phone snatched out of my hand twice, and both times in the exact same neighborhood. I had to go to hospital after a violent mugging in my teens, and ended up in A&E again a few years ago when an XL bully attacked me and my dog. I should be the poster girl for London being a crime hotspot. I've certainly filled the number of police reports to back it. Okay. I mean, yes, I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying.
Okay, she's not only saying it, she had proof. You can go look at the police reports to back it up, and presumably pictures and wounds and stuff like that.
But in actual fact, this is how diversity is meant to be. In actual fact, this is part and parcel of living in a vibrant, diverse city. I've been perplexed by the rise of crime videos. They don't seem to reflect my home.
Imagine somebody, no, you're wrong. The thing that happened to you is wrong. Imagine denying someone else's reality because it's inconvenient. That's insane. Doesn't reflect my home. It doesn't happen near me, so it doesn't happen. That's absolutely insane. Imagine saying that to a rape victim, to their face. Nobody's been raped around me. Are you sure you've been raped? Jesus Christ.
But you literally tell us that they do.
She has evidence. She filled out
reality has no authority over hyperreality. She says, despite my occasional brushes with danger, feels as safe to me as any other major city in the world. Well, there we go, right? You just expect to be mugged. You just expect what feels safe to you is actually very unsafe. You're like, well, I mean, look, all these criminals, yeah, they're stealing from me. They'll occasionally beat me up or set their dog on me, but they're not stabbing me to death and raping my corpse. So it doesn't feel that unsafe. It could be worse. And it's like, yes, but no.
Man, you shouldn't. I would like to, seriously, you go up to this woman right after it happened and say, and you tell her this, hey, it could be worse. Hey, it could be worse. I'm telling you, she'll have a freak out. Oh, performative bullshit gets me angry.
None of those things are normal, right? In a normal place, in normal times, actually, you don't get those things happen to you. I don't know. I as far as I'm aware, that doesn't happen to anyone that I know. My impressions are broadly correct. According to one crime index, London is considered the 15th most dangerous city in Europe. Europe's filled with dangerous cities these days, bro. That seems extraordinarily high until you realize there are 7 other cities in France that rank higher. That just tells us more about them than it does us, right? London isn't even ranked the most dangerous city in the UK. Oh, brilliant. Our other cities are worse. Just remarkable, isn't it? It's just...
You know how dangerous this city? You're not even in the worst city. Gee, as if that's any better.
Skyrocketing. And all you get are people like Fraser Nelson going, well, hang on a second. Oh, these crimes are down. It's like, well, how do you know, right? How do you know? Because it's...
Anyway. I am getting tired. So, like, subscribe, and comment to my channel.